Hello everyone, and welcome to this video, the 12th in this series of such videos. Now this video contains a number of sentences in everyday use that have been translated into their Old English equivalents, as have the previous 11 in this series. Now these sentences use personal pronouns, reflexive pronouns, relative pronouns, adverbs, indefinite relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, and prepositions. Now to make a start, I might just run through some of those definitions and then we'll have a look at the sentences themselves. So this is an example of how to translate everyday language into Old English. That's the purpose of the whole series actually. All right, let's move my face out of the way there. Okay, the third person singular possessive pronouns, his, meaning his, its, ihre, her, hers, or hiare, her, hers. Plural possessive pronouns, ihra, there, or here, ra, there, and heora, theirs. Were not declined, and so they always had the same form. So these always have the same form. You can recognize them anywhere. You don't have any different forms to them. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, reflexive pronouns are pronouns that have suffixes of the form self and selves. So themselves, himself, itself, all the rest of it, okay? They're relative reflexive pronouns in modern English, and then we'll have a look at those for Old English. Now, these definitions I'm pulling from past videos on this channel, okay? So just to do them as a reminder, form of revision, just a bit of summary. Okay, so in Old English, there are no separate forms for reflexive pronouns, and so personal pronouns function as reflexive pronouns. So you're going to see a him, her, it, she, he, and you take that to be, in that context, to be himself, herself, itself, and so on. Okay. When translating, context needs to be taken into account when deciding if a given pronoun is just a simple pronoun, he, she, it, or is meant to be a reflexive pronoun, as in himself, herself, itself. All right. Ourselves is another one. Now, a relative clause is a dependent clause that is introduced using a relative pronoun, such as, now in modern English, the relative pronouns are who, whom, which, that, whose. It's called a relative pronoun because it relates back to a prior noun or pronoun. Now, Old English did not have a system of relative pronouns like the modern English ones listed here, who, whom, which, that, whose. Old English instead used the indeclinable relative particle the. Indeclinable meaning it always has that form the. Be careful because there is a thorn with an E bar above it. That's the long vowel E, and that is pronounced they, and that is the accusative for you, singular you. This one is the, which we interpret to be which, okay, or who, depending on the context. Now, either alone or in combination with a demonstrative. Now, when I say a demonstrative, I mean se, seo, that, thas, and so on. Okay, so as an example, that weave the weaveth, the woman who weaves. Okay, let's next one. Interrogative pronouns are used to introduce questions and inquire about specific details. The primary interrogative pronouns are included. There's an excess word there. Unfortunately, I missed that in the proofreading. Hua, meaning who, what, used to inquire about people or things. Hua is that. Who is that? Hawat is that. What is that? Hawat, what, often used as an introductory word in questions similar to what. Hawat deist thu, what are you doing? Hawider, where, used to ask about the direction or location. Hawider gast thu, where are you going? Where goes you? Hawanon, whence, where, from, used to inquire about the origin or source. Hawanan kumst thu, where did you come from? Hawana, when, used to ask about the time or duration. Hawana gas thu tohilde, when are you going to battle? Okay. Did I miss? Ah, yes, I did. Now, prepositions are words placed before nouns, pronouns, and noun phrases to link them to other words in a sentence. Listen, all of this I've just taken from previous videos on this channel. It's just as a bit of revision. Link them to words in a sentence. They act to connect the objects, people, locations, and time elements of a sentence. He ran up the stairs and into the room. Up and into are prepositions. In Old English, the nouns and pronouns that come after a preposition are said to be governed by that preposition. For this reason, they are referred to as the object of the preposition. So prepositions require their objects to be either the accusative, let me just move the picture there, objects to be in either the accusative, dative, instrumental, or genitive case, and are marked in glossaries with plus for the accusative, plus for dative, and plus for genitive. Okay, so an example you'll see in a dictionary, Old English dictionary, would be the word off. It's a preposition, and it takes the dative, requires objects to be in their dative. And in that sense, it has a sense of the word off. We interpret as pronounced off, unlike modern English, where it's pronounced of. Is from, of, out of. Okay, when you translate it to modern English. Okay. Again, as a general rule, when motion is implied, they take the accusative. When rest is implied, the dative. Okay, so when motion is implied, the preposition takes the accusative form, and where rest is implied, motionless, then you take the dative form. Thus, on with the accusative signifies into, and with the dative in. So the preposition on, O-N here, with the accusative signifies into, should be translated as into, and with the dative, it should be translated as in. So on tha cheastere, into the town. Okay, cheastere is feminine singular accusative, so we use tha in this case, singular feminine accusative. So it takes the accusative form there. So into is how you would interpret it, into the town. On thara cheastere, feminine singular dative, so use thare, and we use the dative here, and in the dative it's in the town. So the difference between on thar cheastere and on thara cheastere is into. The preposition on means into in that case, and here the preposition on means in. Now, perhaps a little bit tricky in those cheastere is accusative, and the exact same form is also the dative. And you'll often find words that will happen. So you're going to have to read the context there to work out what's what. On tham lande, in that country, because tham is the dative. Neuter singular dative, lande, the word lande is in the neuter singular dative, so it's the object of the preposition on, it's in the dative. So when you translate that, the word lande being in the dative tells you that this on must be interpreted into modern English in. All right. Okay. Farthara yasichthe, thehe on tham sawevna yasech. Okay. Because of the vision, farthara, because of the vision, thara, genitive there, of the vision, yasichthe, genitive there, of the vision that he saw in the dream. Okay. Yasichthe, feminine singular dative, so use thara. Sawevna, neuter singular dative, use tham. Okay, and those feminine dative, singular, thara, neuter singular dative, tham. Okay, and for thara, you can take that as because of the vision. Okay, all right, now here are the examples. I saw her at the party and she was dancing by herself. So let's, we've got some reflexives here, and let's see how we reflexive pronouns herself, for instance. And you can see that we're going to translate that as here. So Ich ieser, I saw, here, which is her, at them beor shipper, and heo was be here saltender. Now, that's saltender is dancing. Beor shipper is party. But you notice here was her, but here is herself. Okay, same pronoun, but in this context, you have to interpret it as a reflexive pronoun. Herself, himself, itself, whatever is the case here. So here, which is her, we don't interpret that we don't say she was dancing by her. We don't say that. Okay, you have to understand it's by herself dancing. Okay. This is a conjunction and then we have the subject. This is a new clause now, an independent clause of equal grammatical weight to the first clause here. I saw her at the party as the first clause, and an equal grammatical weight clause. She was dancing by herself as a second clause. Okay, it's not a subordinate clause, it's an independent clause. You have the subject here, you have the verb in second place, was. But here, this verb here, dancing, this present participle, goes to the end, becomes saltender. That's not the only word order. You could have heo was saltender behir. You could do that as well. Okay. I choose to put the second verb to the end, and I follow that pattern on this channel, but it's perfectly valid in Old English too to translate as heo was saltender behir. Okay, it's up to you. I've got to be careful jumping these. He looked at himself in the mirror before leaving the house. He looked at hinna on tham shewer ar sehus lavender. Okay. Leaving, you can see present participle leaving is lavender at the end. Okay. He looked, third person singular present tense, lokade, at hinna himself. Hinna is just him, but in this context, himself in the mirror before the house leaving, before leaving the house. Next one. They who are my neighbours, subordinate clause here, they, subordinate clause, who are my neighbours, often invite us to their barbecues. Here, their mina neach yabura sindon, lathieth yalom usto hira yabera shipum. Okay, let's keep moving. Just notice here with the subordinate clauses, verbs go to the end. So see where it says this subordinate clause interrupts the main clause, and the verb are here, the to be verb, it goes to the end, sindon. So the end. So here in modern English we have who are my neighbours, verb in the second place, but in Old English, this being a subordinate clause, the verbs must go to the end, all of them. So this one, first verb goes to the end, sindon. Okay. Next one. You should always be true to yourself, no matter what happens. Thu shula simle soth to the beon ne intinga hawelche alimpan. Next one. We went to the beach and found a nice spot for ourselves. We eardon to tham satrande underfundon anyameda saplotta varasulvum. Notice ourselves is sulvum. Okay. Anyway, these are examples involving pronouns and all the rest. So these are simple examples. You can apply them in many contexts. Notice ourselves is sulvum. Okay, the book that you borrowed from the library is due back soon. Theo Bork, that thu faram thona bokus achen lichum eft betachtum sona wezan bargodest. Bargodest. Next one. It was raining heavily, so we stayed indoors all day. It was swarliche rinende, swawe ina el dia belivon. Okay. So we inside all day stayed. It was heavily raining. Notice raining is the present tense verb, heavily is an adjective. So the second verb here, was is the first verb, so it was. And then this present participle of rain, raining, goes to the end in its present participle form. Okay, the dog, which is black and white, is playing with its toy. Se hund, der black is and hawit, is mit hit gammen thing playende. Playing is playende, playende. Yep. He was walking quickly, but he still missed the bus. He was hurriedly tredende, ak he yen Mr. Folkwayen. So walking, tredende, and hurriedly is a adverb which modifies the walking. That's the order between modern English. Walking quickly, quickly walking. Between Old Modern English, the order's been swapped. She often talks about a trip to Paris, where she had an amazing time. Heo oft sepeleth on Bhutan hiare for to Paris hawar heo an wunderlichne tida havde. I'll let you work out the different things there. Keep going. I have a friend who lives in the house across the street. Ich habe an Freund hawa booth on thona hus over tham satarate. Okay, now booth or booth, either one of those is the same. Who lives in the house over the street, across the street. Or we could say, ich habe an Freund, der on thona hus over tham satarate booth booth. Okay, we could take this as a subordinate clause and shove the verbs here, lives, inhabits, these two words here, shove them to the end. It's up to you whether or not this is a subordinate clause or not. It's up to you. All right, they always take care of themselves and their families. Here simla yeamath of him and here mayatha. Here yeamath simla of him and here mayatha. Okay, mayatha families. Him, they, here is they, similar as always, take care, yeamath, of him, of themselves, and here, their families. Okay, now you could also say themselves as him as well as him. Next one. I'm going to the shop to buy some groceries for us. Ich am tol thona shoppen summum wisdom bujan ganda bar us. Or you could say ich ga tol thona shoppen summum wisdom bujan bar us. Okay, choice is yours. Just two different ways of saying the same thing. Okay, the cat, which is hiding under the table, seems scared of us. Se cat, the under thona beard hudan is. Thuncheth varcht liedje of us. Thuncheth seems, and then scared varcht liedje. This was a main clause. Se cat thuncheth varcht liedje of us. The cat seems scared of us. Okay, is the primary independent clause, and then there's this subordinate clause stuck in which the being a subordinate clause, the verb is goes to the end, yes. Hiding, hudan, goes in the second place in its infinitive form. And then the rest are under is a preposition, okay? Under, which is the same as modern English. Thonabed is a table, and the, which. Okay, now she quickly finished her homework and then went to bed. Here you fulda hradliche hier hamweart and tha erde obed. He often goes to the gym to work out and keep himself healthy. Okay, so in Old English we go, hey oft gath tol thona halthe, je motern tol werke ut and je hield him an sundum. Or you could say, he oft gath on a halthe, je moter werke ut, and je hield him an sundum. Okay, so I just dropped out the preposition to here. Next one, they, who are my best friends, always support me no matter what. Hier, their mean bets, their verreondas is underbereth simle me ne intingan hawelchum. Okay. We went to the restaurant where we had our first date. We eadon tolthona etende hus hawar we ure farme talmerke. Okay. I'll just interrupt a moment. Just someone very recently, last couple of days actually, on this channel has asked me about the trilling of R's and so on. And I have to say, look, it took me probably 2 years to learn to do it. You just have to be patient with yourself. I forget the name of the person who asked me that. I will respond to the question in writing, but just with the trilling of the R's, be patient. It will come. I couldn't do it. I absolutely believed I could not do it and would never be able to do it. And it turned out that I was just determined. Simple as that. I was just determined, and it did work out. You will learn to trill the R with practice. Just be patient. It will take time. You know, like often driving to work in the morning, I practice there in the car, and eventually it comes. So please don't expect success overnight or even a couple of months or a few months. Just be patient, persist. It will eventually come. Everyone can do it, no matter how old you are. Okay. I wasn't, you don't need to be a young person to get it or anything like that. So just please be patient. It will come. Just keep practicing, no matter how old you are. Trust me on that. I wasn't young when I did it. You need to be kind to yourself and to take a break once in a while. Okay. Thul thearve, milde tothin wesen, and nimest an raste and on an hawila. Okay. So, and with all the sounds and pronunciation, just be patient. It will come. Until you can trill your R, just do the best you can. Do whatever R you can do, and people will still be able to understand you. And when I say that, just you think of the difference between Northern English and Southern English. In the north of England, they say the word but, they pronounce it but. In the south, they pronounce but both parties know exactly what the other is saying, even though two totally different pronunciations, but and but, and everybody understands each other. So it's not that big a deal. You do the R that you can do. Eventually, you'll be able to trill it as well. Okay, did I do that one? I did, yes. The car which was parked in front of the house belongs to them. Serwayen hawulch was on foreign thas huses je settled. On Lengath toheam. Off Lengath toheim. My apologies, I'll read it again. Serwayen hawulch was on foreign thas huses je settled. Off Lengath toheim. Okay, whatever you decide, I will support you. I hawat thu ye cheest, ich wille the ye wunian. Now here's that they I was telling you about. The long E there. This is pronounced they and is you, the accusative of you. The is the indeclinable particle, which is which, who. Okay. Another way of saying whatever you decide will support you is sawa hawelch, sawa thu ye cheest, ich wille the ye wunian. Okay, so just different ways of saying it. Sawa, Welsh, sawa, whatever. Ay, what, whatever. Okay. Whoever wants to join can meet us at the park. Sawa, hawa, sawa, willeth, tol, betheadan, here machan, us at tham, share, yemetan. That ash, there should be a long ash, tham, that's obviously missed in the proofreading. My apologies there. Sawa hawelch sawa willeth tol betheadan here machan us at tham share yemetan. Here again, tham, should be long ash there. That's the AE with the bar above the top. My apologies for that, everyone. Another item I missed in the proofreading. Okay, whichever route you take, make sure to be careful. Sawadr lad nimesthi wissa tol behudi beyon maka. Notice here, with the double S, the repeated letter, the letter is repeated twice. Wissa. It's like in good day. Good day. There's two D's there. Wissa. Wissa. Sawa huwelch sawa lad nimesthi wissa tol behudi beyon maka. Okay, what did you eat for breakfast this morning? Hawat dudus the etan for undern meta disne marchen. Now that might be marjen. You can, but it might also be marchen. So just like we have the word marchon. So just be careful there. There's two different options you'll see in the dictionaries that you look in books and online. You'll see the two versions pop up. You can see things like Merien as well. Okay, so just be aware. It's probably Marien, but it could also be Marchen. Anyway, I'm going to take the latter for today. Hawat dudus the etan var marchen meta disne marchen. Another way of saying breakfast. Okay, when will you be coming back from your trip? Hawana wilt thu baka faram thin for kommende. Or Hawana wilt thu eft seath faram thin for kommende. Or Hawana wilt thu baka faram thin for kommende. I like the last one, but pick what you like. And that's the end, everyone. Thank you very much for listening and participating. I hope to see you in the next video. So the next one will be number 13 in this series, and I'm going to look at taking a single sentence and how many different ways we can translate it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.